Let me ask you something. Why is your Google business still stuck in the mud while your competitors are just ranking higher above you and really in effect stealing all your leads? Well, here's the brutal truth. They know something that you don't. And today I'm going to reveal exactly how to change that. So in the next few minutes, I'm going to reveal the lesson I learned from my own struggles. The single lesson that blew up my Google rankings and how it makes it 10 times easier for you to do so now, and how you can copy it to dominate your industry. So if ever you found optimizing Google businesses difficult, a gigantic task, an impossible situation, I get it. When I first came across Google business and optimization, I found it exactly the same. My SEO strategy was an absolute mess. It was all over the place. I was taking wrong advice. It was like this squiggly line. And I realized that something needed to change. And now my SEO, it's effective, it's directive, and it's predictable to exactly where I want it to go. But for you to understand exactly what happened, I need to take you back to around 15 years ago when I was employed by a business. This was a long time before I was a Google business consultant, and I hit a turning point. In fact, it wasn't my choice. I was made redundant. That's a horrible feeling when you get that letter that says you're going to be let go. And so suddenly I had to make a choice that I'd never anticipated. Now maybe that sounds familiar to you. Maybe you've had a similar situation. But here's the thing. The situation provided a very critical lesson for me. At the time I record, my PE teacher when I was at school, he used to say, no pain, no gain. So was I going to be determined to allow this pain to give me an advantage going forward? Was I going to try and embrace it? Well, that was the idea. Embracing change can be a turning point. And there's some changes that are taking place at this very moment when it comes to Google business profiles and local SEO. You see, you may have noticed that AI is really taking over search results, and people are using AI far more now than they ever did in the previous years. Now, 15 years ago when I was head of design and I was working as a manager in my area, and then I was made redundant, changes came along. And my choice was the new owners had bought out our business and they decided they were going to relocate. And it was a case of, was I prepared to move or was I going to stay here and take the redundancy? And that was when I decided to start my own business. But to accept the redundancy was a bit of a gut punch because it came from nowhere. And this is where I realized that life is all about change. And just think about Google and your business, and you're trying to rank it at the moment. Have you noticed the changes that you're dealing with? You see, Google changes all the time. Rankings shift, so even if you do nothing, you'll find your rankings probably plummet. Algorithms evolve. Costs and inflations fluctuate for your business. Customers' needs transform from year to year. Operating systems get updated and devices constantly need upgrading too. The fact is everything is changing around you. And so the cold truth is your business also needs to make changes. It needs to adapt, or it will just go backward. And this year is the biggest change in search engine history. We're in the midst of a massive shift in how search engines like Google are going to present information that leads them to your business. Have you noticed how every single result now has AI woven throughout it? 6 months ago, this was predicted in one of the videos, which I'll give you a link to in a moment. But this is great news because rather than it being a case of it's making things harder for you, it's actually giving you a massive opportunity. So just to give you an idea, if you've got new layouts that are being served up to present to customers, there's new opportunities there to appear number one. You can stand out visually far more now than you could in the past with good photos. And also keywords. In the past, you had to have 1 or 2 keywords, and they were really difficult, very competitive. You would never be able to get those competitive keywords because all the big companies have already mastered it. But now, actually, you need 5 or 6 keywords to be number one. And those combinations of keywords are freely available. You just need to know what people are searching for. And it's all for free. You can find that out by just going to Google itself. And where it says suggestions or this is what people are looking for, optimize your business, your blog, your profiles with those types of keywords. And here's another big change is because of AI, no customer now trusts anything. They don't know whether it's fake images, whether it's fake person. The fact is trust is essential for a business. So if you can build trust through various ways like FAQs, useful blog articles, videos themselves, People are going to go to your business, not the one that is just using ChatGPT to write articles. Consumers are looking for businesses to trust. And also consumers are looking for those that answer their questions. So when they go to your business, have you got some questions and answers, some FAQs? Do you show through your little articles, your posts and your offers that you understand what it is that customers are looking for? That will also build great trust, give great signals back to Google, and you'll find that will help with your ranking. So how do you embrace all these changes? There's a lot of things that are mentioned there, but it also is hard to do. And going back to my situation, when I had my redundancy, to start a business was like climbing a mountain. Where do I start? It felt like I was always going to be at the bottom of that mountain. Everyone else, all the competitors were above me. I had to build my customer base, my trust, my credibility from scratch, right down on the ground level. Was it challenging? Absolutely. Was it rewarding? You bet it was. Because gradually, it started to change as I put the effort in. And all your competitors at the moment, they're relying on their old SEO techniques, but you know what? It's going to lose its value in Google because it's not really helping customers any longer. And all their spammy keywords and all their keywords where they repeated it again and again, if anything, are going to cause a negative effect on their SEO. But with this SGE that Google is now using in the search results, you really need to understand now what it is that Google's rewarding. You also need to know where to focus your time and also the areas that you can embrace the changes to get maximum results. And the key thing is here is really you need to show to Google that you're active, that you're regularly optimizing your Google business profile. And we're not talking about weeks, we're not talking about days, we're just talking about a couple of minutes each week. And to help people do that, I put together an email where I just send it once a week. It just gives you a couple of tips to try, and immediately it has an impact on your Google signals and your algorithm. And the reason why it works so well and why so many people have been thanking me for it and giving me some great reviews on it is because it's just keeping it alive in Google's memory. So if you've got a business that hasn't done anything for 6 months, do you really think Google's going to feel that if it sends traffic that way, that it's going to get customers with improved results, it's going to help build their trust, it's going to help give them an authentic experience? Or will it be to the business that's just constantly optimizing just a little bit each week? Well, I know the results and I've seen what happens, and believe me, it makes a massive difference. So if you want to sign up to that email, then it's just on my website, zanet.co.uk. And there it will just come through your inbox. You can try it each week. Earlier in the video, I mentioned the fact that there was a really good video you need to watch next called SGE, How to Grab the #1 Spot. That video now I've put a link to here. So head over to there. You won't regret following the information on that video. I'll see you there.